Welcome to the planning board meeting of December 16th. Just want to let everybody know that Babe Mainini will be participating remotely. If there's anyone that has any questions, they can raise their hand. Why don't we go through the agenda? The first order of business are the minutes from the November meeting.
Move to approve?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Hearing
No,
none?
I'd like to thank Matt for, I made a couple suggestions, and thank you, Matt, very much. Appreciate it. I know I'm a pain in the neck.
Great. Vote on that, all in favor?
Yes. We have to do roll call vote since we have a member
Oh, yeah.
participating remotely.
Oh, look at the, what? Is that Dante? Yes.
Okay. Well, we've got
Favor?
5 in favor.
Is that the roll
Aye.
call?
Roll call.
Yeah, we have to
You
do
have
it
to
one by
call.
one. So, Joe Cal. Say
Aye.
aye.
Yes.
Aye.
That sounded like aye. I think it was aye. He's adorable.
Say your name and then your vote. Your last name or whatever, then your vote. So we'll do that next time. We're good.
Okay.
He's so cute.
Okay, number 2 item is 81P. We have the McGill Lane, Whale Street discontinuance.
Yes, sir. This item was on our town meeting warrant. This is the discontinuance of an old section of way that was eliminated when the highway went in. This plan meets all of our A&R requirements. I recommend endorsement of this plan. This would help discontinue that useless section of road.
So this is a section that of McGill Lane that goes up to,
That club.
yeah, it goes up to
Not-
Maspinock, thank you. So it there's a portion that has residential homes on it. We're basically drawing a line past the residence, and we're discontinuing all of McGill above that, and all of Wales, which connects, Wales actually starts over on Purchase Street, but it was cut off by 495.
Oh, yeah.
And that was actually why McGill was constructed, to reconnect that portion of
Wales
Wales
to something.
to a street. But the Gun Club owns both sides of it, and it's just extra work for the town to take care of it, so
Yeah.
this is,
This is a follow-up to a prior vote of ours, if I remember?
No, we sent a favorable to the
Sent
Board
it.
of Selectmen
Right,
to do
right.
this. So effectively, we've already said what this shows.
Yes.
so this is just to make the legal document so that they can deed it off to the,
My husband's bringing my eyeglasses, so I won't have to do this.
Make a motion, we sign the 81P.
I was trying to figure out the wording. Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay. Take a vote on that?
Joe Calagione, aye.
Aye. We don't have to do this one by one.
Chris is, yes.
Aye.
And Joe Mariah says aye as well.
Okay.
Okay, so item number 3 is the Old Cedar Court.
It's the definitive subdivision piece first. So what we have here
Okay.
is we have an expired contract, acts as kind of a covenant for the subdivision. This is construction of the Old Cedar Court Way in order to give this project frontage. This was already done. So now the property's since been sold. So an extension of the contract's in order so they can continue building the roadway in order to provide frontage for the lot. The applicant's here if you want any questions about it, but this is more of a formality at this point. The extension contract's been reviewed by town council, and it's all set to go. After that, we can discuss the next item on the agenda. This is just a contract for the subdivision itself. looking for a term of extension. I recommended a 2-year extension because that's what the original contract was for. And now that it has a new owner, give them the 2 years that the original contract was originally intended for.
Okay. Any comments?
Vote to sign the extension to the Old Cedar Court definitive subdivision
2 years.
for 2 years.
Second.
And a quick discussion, I did have a conversation with town engineer about whether 1 year to 2 year. You know, I had just looked at it since this had already been kind of in the pipeline and why the need for a 2-year extension. I was kind of more in line with the 1 year, but we did have an extensive back and forth conversation and certainly can understand why extending a 2-year is warranted in this case.
I don't think it sets us back either way. I mean, it only affects them, so.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the pleasure of the board on that one.
Did you already?
Yeah.
We had the motion.
We had a motion.
Motion was by Joe, second by
Martha?
Yeah, I think I seconded, right?
Yes,
you
Yeah,
You did.
yeah.
You vote on that?
Aye.
The vote.
Aye.
No?
Yes.
Yes.
And I abstain on this one.
Okay.
The second portion is the actual plan for amendment.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, what we have here, new owners, applicants wish to make some minor amendments to the plan. It was found that the contract needed expiration, so we did that. The amendments proposed a special permit decision, which acted as site plan review in this case. Was not restricted to the applicant, therefore it runs with the land. The applicant will review the amendments. I consider them minor in nature. Request the changes be reflected in the as-built plan. That's my notes on this, so if the applicant has anything else.
Thanks, Matt. My name is Michael Dryden. I'm a senior project manager with Allen Engineering, here on behalf of the current owner of 80 Old Cedar Court, TAC Milford LLC. And I don't recall what the makeup of the board was back in fall of 2023. I think at least a couple of the members are still on the board, but you'll recall that, as Matt mentioned, a special permit with site plan approval was issued for a 3-story self-storage facility, and also, as also mentioned, the definitive subdivision for Old Cedar Court. The new owner wishes to make some changes to the plan that was approved, essentially to suit more aligned with their programmatic needs and their typical functionality of their self-storage facility. So I'm not sure if the board has my December 10th correspondence. If so, on page 2. And also, there were plans, Matt, I don't know if those were distributed.
Those, yes.
I do have plans here, but if you have them in front of you, it's probably easier just to follow along. So on page 2 of my memo, I outline, 8 or 10 bullet items, and I'd just like to quickly walk you through those changes. And again, they're as redlined on the plans that you have attached to that letter. So first and foremost, the building height. The initial self-storage facility had a drive-through component. That component essentially raised the entire height of the building for clearance reasons for the drive-through component. So we're removing that component and decreasing the height from 55 feet to 37 feet. So that's about a 33% reduction in height. The building footprint does increase somewhat from 34,000 to about 37,800 square feet. That's about an 11% increase. And then the overall square footage, same increase by about 11%. But as a result of reducing the height of the building, the actual overall mass and bulk of this building is reduced. As I mentioned, the vehicular drive-through component has been removed, and in conjunction with that, there were 5 interior parking spaces. There were also floor drains and a tight tank located outside of the building. All of those components will be removed as well. Just a little bit about site circulation and loading. There was a raised loading dock in the back of this building. The current owner does not need to accommodate full-size tractor trailers on this site, so that raised dock will go away. And the site was designed to accommodate those larger vehicles. So we're able to reduce, as you'll see on the layout materials plan, the hatched area is a reduction in the pavement, a pretty significant reduction. We still have ample width of pavement around the building for life safety vehicles in circulation. But again, we just don't need that massive area of pavement behind the building for tractor trailers. And also, by reducing that pavement, we had a one-to-one riprap slope for a significant portion behind the building. Now that that pavement goes away, we can flatten that slope and match the 2-to-1 slope for the rest of the site, so that riprap slope goes away. The approved plans showed security fencing around the entire facility with gates. The current owner does not require security fencing, so we're proposing to remove all of the fencing around the entire facility. And stop me at any moment if you have any questions, of course.
Hold on, did we lose them?
No, it's just the video.
Okay. We just need to make sure that has to be on.
Make sure he can hear you, though. Ask him to.
Can you hear us?
Babe, can you hear us?
He's back.
Yep.
You hear us okay, babe?
He's on mute, though.
Sorry.
It's on mute. It says
He's just muted, I believe.
Says it's muted.
Yeah, but it says no phone.
Connected.
Welcome to Zoom. Enter your meeting ID followed by pound. Enter your participant ID followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue. You have entered the meeting as a panelist. Attendees can now hear you speak. This meeting is being recorded.
Just confirm that he can hear us.
You there, babe? Can you hear us okay?
The phone in the bottom left corner is
Oh,
muted.
yeah.
Yep. Can
I'm
you
on
hear
now.
us now, babe?
Yeah, he can.
Yes, I can.
There we
Good.
go. Well done.
Yeah, all set now.
The more we progress, the more we regress, it seems.
Yeah.
Shall I continue?
Yes, please.
I mentioned the fencing, and while I'm on the subject of fencing, we did include a landscape plan. And one of the elements on the original plan is, there's a bike path that actually runs through this site that connects the cul-de-sac at Old Cedar Court to the existing bike path. And we had a fence separating that bike path from the site plan. So with all the fencing being removed, I'm showing the potential for some landscaping just as a deterrent to separate the bike path from the self-storage facility. So you'll see that on sheet C5. It says shrub plantings if desired by owner. I just included that for your information. We'll work through that with the owner if they feel that that separation is important. And of course, if the board feels it's important, we can work through that as well. The next item on the list was lighting. On that same plan that shows landscaping, there were freestanding light poles. I believe there were 12 of them on the outside, the perimeter of the parking area. We're proposing to remove those freestanding lights and mount all lighting on the building. That will not apply to the access drive that leads from Old Cedar Court to the parking area. Obviously, we can't light that with wall packs. So the 3 light poles that are on the access drive would remain in place. Just a couple of other small items. With that interior drive-through component being removed, the trash storage was also in that area, so we'll have to accommodate an on-site 10 by 10 dumpster. That's shown in the upper left-hand corner of the building. And then finally, we're just proposing to relocate the transformer. You'll note on the right side of the plan, it's closer to the access drive on the approved plan and would move to the northeast on the proposed red line plan. So that summarizes the changes. So we would respectfully request that the board consider these minor changes as Matt had mentioned.
Also the elimination of parking spaces.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you.
There's the bathroom.
That's not on my list, but certainly should be.
6.
Right, so we had 13 spaces on the approved plan. Only 4 are required for this facility. So as I mentioned earlier, we're removing the 5 parking spaces at the drive-through and an additional 5 spaces on the left side of the plant, or 6 spaces. So we still have 7 parking spaces where 4 are required. Thanks, Matt.
Any comments?
I guess I just have, well, I have one that I can think of off the top of my head. The removal of the fence, for self-storage, you're removing all fencing? I guess I haven't seen any self-storage buildings that aren't fenced in.
Yeah, the owner, again, is part of their programmatic needs. They don't require fencing.
To that point, if you may. When we originally had this come through, we had the special permit, and there was a motion with an extensive list of criteria. One of those criteria was customer access to a self-unit shall be provided by a PIN-activated sliding vehicle access gate. So that was part of the original motion and part of the special permit. So now we've removed fencing, and therefore would have removed this gate. So I guess, and then to back up, the motion that we set forth for the special permit and subject to the applicant, I'm assuming that the new applicant has to adhere to all of these special requirements, or do we need to go back through and ensure that the applicant understands all these special requirements? And I guess, is the applicant aware of all the special requirements?
I am. We are.
Okay.
So if I could, I believe when this plan was first brought forth, we actually proposed the fencing, and there was some discussion back and forth. And I'm a little disappointed that it was written that way, because I believe the fencing was proposed by the applicant at the time, versus it being a concern or a requirement by the board.
I think there was a concern from the board. I believe my recollection was there was concerns about the control of the site, because there was comments from the water department in terms of what would be stored there or not. And so that gave us some level of comfort that there would only be certain people entering and exiting the site because it was a controlled entrance. My second, actually, I just thought of my second comment as we went through this is, I don't feel these are necessarily minor changes, especially with the comments that were there, and I believe that we need to go back to the boards, especially the fire department, with a change in widths, and make sure that he's comfortable. And I mean, and to the water department to a certain extent. I mean, hopefully they've gotten over their comment that we don't believe this is an appropriate use, and that we don't have the right to stop somebody from going into a site that meets the zoning requirements. And I think we've had this conversation with them multiple times, but hopefully they can make an intelligent comment as to what their concerns are if in fact a storage facility is going in here again, because I think that fence was part of what they felt a little more comfortable with.
I think that I think no matter what, unless they're gonna put the gate back up, back into the plan and have the PIN code, I think you would need to amend this anyway, so I think
Oh,
it's a moot,
Right.
I think it's a moot point. You either need to, if you put a gate in with the keypad access, then maybe the board could consider it as a minor, but given that that's in there, they really can't, because you're gonna have to open it up to modify it.
I certainly understand. If it's the pleasure of the board and it's your opinion that we need to keep the fencing, we'll keep the fencing. And of course, if that changes your opinion versus a minor change or a major change, I'll emphasize it even more. I'd love to see the fencing go away, but I do acknowledge that it's written in there. So, and to the other point, to your point, sir, regarding fire, water, we're happy to go meet with town officials and show them these plans. What we'd like to do is be able to move forward with construction as soon as possible and not have to refile and amend the permit. So, but we're happy to get input from town officials as you see appropriate. That's part of this informal amendment, administrative amendment, if you will.
And that's certainly something, if you want us to, that Matt and I can work on with the departments.
Yeah, I can't vote for it. I don't know that anymore. I can't vote for it per se tonight, but I think I'd like to know what department comments are before we agree to it. But I'm not saying, any more than that, no.
So would it make any sense for us to consider it, the requests that have been made, other than the elimination of fencing? And to consider it in that?
Well, no, we
Would
still have,
that-
they still have, to me, they still have payment that they've changed that the fire department hasn't looked at.
Oh, okay, yeah, I forgot you mentioned that, yeah.
So, I don't think it's a big deal, but again, until we get a letter from the fire chief, I'm not gonna sit here and make judgments for him. That's part of why we ask those
Search
questions.
is really
I
important.
think that's reasonable.
So it's just, I think what you need to decide is if you want them to, if you definitely think this is major change and need to come back, or if you're comfortable with us, with Matt and I,
I don't think we can answer that until we see what the comments are, especially from the water department. If we don't want this type of development, then we've gotten nowhere and we need to act on it, and we can't, to me, we can't deny it. If they come back with, we're still worried about what might be in there, we'd be more comfortable with the fencing, and I'd like to know that before I sign this.
the
Let's put it that
fencing it cannot be considered a minor if the fencing isn't put back in place. I think, I'm not saying you need to close yourself off to the possibility of calling it major later. I'm just saying that if you're gonna call it major for sure, then you should just say that now. If you're willing to hear a little more information from fire department and get it on the I guess in writing that they do intend to hold this pin fencing. If they're going to do that and you get the comments, would you then consider potentially, not for sure, but potentially, could that be a minor?
Sort of depending on the nature of the comments.
Right, if I could, in other words, assume for a moment that water and fire and other town officials are going to be okay with these changes. Would the board entertain a determination of minor changes?
I would.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything
Yeah,
on there
I
that would
would.
stop me.
What defines major versus minor?
Well, it's at your discretion.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, the only
That would
thing,
be okay with
the
me.
only thing to me at that point that would, I mean, we move transformers all the time.
Right.
The other stuff that when they move, the amount of parking was somewhat at the applicant's discretion because of how he was going to run it. It wasn't ours. So I don't see anything else other than those that we've talked about that would
Right.
make it a major to me. I don't have an issue with it.
I guess, to your point, it's a 3-foot reduction in the drive aisles in some areas, right? And my concern would be without the fire department weighing in on that to ensure that they get their say. Because if the fire department weighs in and there is an issue and we've already
Yeah.
move forward with this.
Well,
With this,
to be honest, I think if the fire department comes back and says they don't have an issue with it, if they do, it goes back to where it was, and it's no longer an issue because it's gonna, the only way that is where it's gonna go back to what it was shown.
They were oversized, so from a technical standpoint, I'm gonna tell you, they were oversized to begin with. And the reduction in that back area is not, is not, if they couldn't make that back corner, if they couldn't make the back right corner, then they're not gonna be able to make the back left corner.
Right, I mean,
So-
obviously, it was designed for 18-wheelers to be able to go through.
Right.
It just, again,
I'm
I
not
feel
saying
more
that,
comfortable.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't check with them. I'm just saying, I'm very confident that it can still meet all of the requirements. Babe wants to speak.
That raised loading dock is going away?
Correct.
Okay, so the shortest distance is 30 feet, right?
Go ahead, Babe.
In the back.
Mr. Chairman, I got a problem with the fence going away. Of all the storage facilities we've had in Milford, the one when it didn't have a fence on, we had problems with. It was unkept. We had people living in the unused areas. And I think that the fences is a very important thing, especially in that area so far removed from the busier part of the town.
Joe, I don't know if you want to allow AJ as the property, as the applicant, right?
AJ's with the design build firm.
He's with the design build firm. He's raising his hand and would like to speak.
Oh, yeah.
AJ, you have something to comment on?
Yes, thank you for unmuting me. So I had 2 points of clarification. The first one regarding the fence, as we mentioned, it's no problem to add that back in. I think that's a perfectly reasonable request. One thing that's happened in my experience building these self-storage facilities all over the country is if you install a fence with an automatic gate or like a key fob reading system, a lot of times it has to be integrated specifically with whatever the fire department, like the tone of their siren is or flashing of lights system. It's kind of a complicated thing. We have to go integrate with them, and we do it. It's not impossible, but it is something that's going to be a point of clarification with the fire marshal that I want to get resolved to understand in the case of emergency, how do they get through that gate unobstructed? So from a life safety perspective, in my experience, it's better to not have a gate than to rely on some electronic way of opening that gate in the event of an emergency. That's just not trying to sway you one way or another. That's just something that I've had to deal with in other places. The second thing regarding the drive aisle, so we're getting a little bit hung up on what's changing on the drive aisle. Specifically, what happened was we eliminated the loading dock in the back of the building. So that loading dock was a raised loading dock. It's sitting at roughly 40 inches or so to accommodate a 18-wheel truck. This facility under this new operator is not going to need access for an 18-wheeler. It's not a typical storage client, and we can just simply not accept 18-wheel traffic. There won't be a space big enough to store 18 wheels. A normal semi-truck trailer, they would have to rent multiple units and it would be a whole thing. So they've eliminated the dock, therefore that brings in the access around the dock. So the drive aisle fundamentally is the same. You're just no longer driving around a dock station in the back. I think is a reasonable thing to look at when we're looking at the plan. So it may not be obvious on the red lines, but the reduction in space is for the need of driving around that dock, not so much regular traffic around the building. You still have a full loop road, and if they couldn't make the turns previously, the turns have remained the same.
Yeah, so that's correct, except for the building is slightly larger, and so you are losing a couple
Yeah.
of feet. Again, I don't foresee any problem. They're still meeting our minimum requirements for drive aisles, so I don't foresee any issue, but obviously, we need to get some comments from the fire department on the gate, because I think it's pretty clear that the board feels that the fencing is needed in this case. So, but I don't see it being a problem. But yes, go ahead.
One thing to add, thank you, Liz. The building footprint does increase slightly, so if the desire is to keep the original pavement width around the entire building, we have the ability to adjust the opposite curbs a foot or two, however much it's needed, so that's not an issue.
I prefer not to have more pavement than you need.
Yeah, I totally agree. I just want to assure you that if we're talking about the difference of 2 feet, we're going to adjust the curb line.
Right.
It's not a problem. I
Understood.
didn't capture all of that on the red lines.
No, I don't think that's, and again, I don't foresee it being an issue
Right.
per se, but for us to go through, I want to make sure that all town boards, because of this type of change, have the opportunity to comment on it. And if, you know, and if it comes down to the fire chief saying, I just want to see a turning radius with the new setup, that way we've given that to him and he's had that opportunity to do that. To me, it's not, again, I don't believe, if we go back to the fencing and the pin, because we talked about that, if we wanted to work around that somehow is being major or not, because that would change what was said. The other things to me are minor, but I just want to make sure other people have the opportunity to agree that it is in fact minor.
More than reasonable.
Anyone else?
Yeah, just to go back to the list of conditions, right, and with the fence, and just to kind of ensure that we are following these, because again, there was an extensive list of prohibited items, and based on that list of prohibited items, that's why we wanted the 24-hour surveillance. We wanted to be able to understand who was coming and going, so with that gate access, right, that gate access, I'm assuming, would have a special PIN number for each person. So back to the reasons why we wanted some of that kind of checks and balances was to understand who was coming in and out, from the standpoint of it's going to be the ownership of the owner to understand who's coming in and out, and to make sure that any of the prohibited materials are not stored on site, because again, you're alongside of the Milford Water Supply, Milford Watershed, so that is of the utmost concern, and why that was an extensive list. And if you go through the rationale behind that, right, in that there should be office hours, and there should be someone that's going to be reviewing the tapes to making sure. So again, I know that this is all listed out. I want you and the owner to be very, very well aware of these stipulations and why these stipulations were put in. And again, because we're next to, you know, the Milford Water Supply. So that, again, I feel like the fence and the gate, to me, is going to be a condition that is a requirement.
Yeah, I think the board's made that pretty clear.
Yep.
Understood.
All right. What's the pleasure of the board on this? Can you bring it back?
Make a motion to continue.
So this isn't a application, this is just a request, so we could table it to the next meeting if you'd like. It's not a vote for continuance, it's just a declaration from the chairman.
That's fine.
That's what you want to do.
Okay.
That's what you'd like to do?
Your call, Joe.
You get to
Chairman's call.
decide.
I have no problem with that. I think in this case, it'd be a good idea to do it at the very next meeting.
When is that next meeting?
That should give us enough time, right?
Our next meeting.
First Tuesday in January.
January
Excuse me
6th.
if I could, the agenda says next meeting to be determined, but is there any reason, Liz or Matt, that we wouldn't meet on a regular schedule in January?
No, not at all.
Okay,
The 6th.
so, what is that, January
January 6th.
6th?
As we changed up the location of the dumpster, does the plans need to include a dumpster detail as we typically do with other plans?
It already-
It's not within, no, because the dumpster was inside.
Yeah, there's no.
So therefore, being
We'll certainly
outside, we
provide
need,
a screening
just,
detail.
again,
Yeah.
it's kind of standard practice for us, so I'd like to see you include that, and you got time to do it.
I have one comment. If we're getting rid of the raised loading bay in the back, could we extend the fire lane to wrap around the entire building? Because that, obviously, if that's coming out, you can continue the fire lane in its absence.
That seems to make sense, but we can certainly chat with the chief about that.
Right, okay.
And then just one final note, you mentioned the detail for the dumpster. What we would plan to do is if the board ultimately finds these changes to be insignificant, we would revise the plans and submit for your records, incorporating these changes. These were just sort of an outline in red of what the changes. So we'll give you a revised plan set.
Sounds good. How does the board feel about the removal of the 6 parking spaces? Obviously, it's over the minimum requirement.
Yeah, I don't,
Okay. Fine. Joe was my... Okay.
Okay.
Okay. January 6th.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
26.
Trying to figure out what January 6th would mean. January 6th was triggering something in my head. I'm like, January 6th?
Is it your birthday?
No.
This is the contract extension. Sign that.
Had the
Can notarize it.
riot or whatever in Washington.
Oh, my God.
oh, that's right.
It's like, I was like, January 6th.
The most embarrassing days in the history of our nation.
16th.
Horrific days.
You gonna hand me a copy of that hot off the press?
Yeah, you're gonna get the original.
Yeah. 11 by 17.
I read through that stuff.
I'll go make a copy.
I skipped right over I saw the 24-hour video. I skipped right over it.
Okay, the next order of business, we've got a preliminary subdivision plan for Mount Pleasant Street. 7 lots. Is anybody here to represent?
That's me.
Okay.
You have to read it.
Do I need to wait for Matt, or are we?
Oh, no, because
No, it's not,
preliminary.
yeah.
Right, so my name's Mike Scott, I'm an engineer at Land Design Collaborative, I'm in Westboro, and the owners are here, Bruno and Donnie of B&D Homes. The subject property is on Mount Pleasant Street, on the south side of the road, and we, on their behalf, filed a 7-lot preliminary plan. This is a residential subdivision, it's residentially zoned property. You have the plans. I'm just going to quick overview of the site, and then I'll field questions. So there's a little over 5 acres frontage on the south side of Mount Pleasant Street. There's a narrow corridor that was left when this property was originally subdivided, and that corridor is 40 feet wide, has a rounding on one side. There's also a frontage on Alden Street, which is the width of an extension of Alden Street that runs westerly to the property. There's the second sheet of the plan set is on-the-ground survey that was done by Feldman a few years ago. So the topography is legitimate, the information in the roadway is all field located, all 3 frontages, if you will. They also own 37 Mount Pleasant Street, which presently has a home that would be on the northwest corner of the property. It's not part of the parcel, but it is under a common ownership. There's a wetland system that runs, excuse me, from the end of that little finger of Alden Street where a town drainage system dumps onto the property, runs along sort of the south side of the site, leaves the property onto the, now we're formerly, I'm going to butcher this name, Iniglio, sort of to the southwest corner. And then the wetland runs on that property and before it runs towards Hayward Street to the west. Site slopes from east to west, moderately at the top and a little steeply at the bottom. We did soil testing out here earlier this year for stormwater and found loamy sand, pretty decent material, groundwater. Elizabeth was present at the time with our soil evaluator. Groundwater was 3.5 feet plus or minus, generally a little higher in places, a little lower in other places. It's a stony site, there's plenty of superficial boulders, and it's generally wooded, except for the rear yard of where sort of 37 projects back into the property. And it's bounded by stone walls on the south and west side. So we're on the sheet C101, you can see a 7-lot conventional cul-de-sac with a roadway of under 500 feet. It is a 40-foot right-of-way, and as I mentioned, there's only one rounding out at Mount Pleasant Street, so this layout would require 2 waivers from your subdivision regulations. Those are noted on the cover sheet and in the application. That is, again, for a 40-foot right-of-way and only one rounding. The width and roundings are adequate for construction of a 24-foot road with 1 sidewalk, which is the requirement for a minor road. If you look at sheet C201, we're showing the grading, which is associated with the profile that's on sheet C202 on the right side of the last sheet. The road grades conform to your standards for the leveling area at Pleasant Street and at the cul-de-sac. It's not, we've provided vertical curves for consistent with your regulations. And we're showing water and sewer in a general manner. So there's water and sewer on Pleasant Street, both of which would be extended into this proposed roadway. And we're showing the sewer exiting the the north side of the site through the neighboring lot at 37 Mount Pleasant Street. As we had a conversation with your sewer department, and they're not fans of pumping sewer, which I'm pretty sure everyone here has probably heard, but I heard loud and clear. And we're showing a stormwater management facility as an infiltration basin. The site's steep at the bottom. It's not that we couldn't potentially design a surface basin, but there's going to be fill generated, there's going to be a fill slope under which infiltration could be provided. And that's what we're showing at this time in order to meet the groundwater offsets. And obviously, this site would be designed in accordance with the wetlands protection regs. It's going to be subject to a notice of intent for the lots, if not the road, but we would design it accordingly. And we did receive comments from several of the departments, and the general theme was drainage is a concern, both from the site and down at the existing drainage system in Haywood Road. So we would anticipate investigating that system a little farther. I have walked the site. We do know that the stream, the neighbor's lot, and then ends up on behind one of the homes on Hayward, a makeshift drainage system that gets it out to the town road. Again, we could do some investigation, but and it would require an NPDES permit as well. So we know that construction will be scrutinized. Mr. Benoit made the same comment, but it is a residential project. I felt it was beneficial to file a preliminary so we could at least talk about some of the, first of all, there's 2 waivers, and just to get feedback from the board, because I hadn't been before you. So happy to answer as many questions as I can.
Great, thank you. Any questions or comments?
Not as of yet.
Well, Chris can go. I'll let him go first.
Yeah, I guess, the first is the 24-foot drive coming in, and obviously how, I think spec, 40 feet is what it's supposed to be?
No, so
Or, sorry.
the
We
right,
talked earlier on this, so.
yeah, the right-of-way
Right
is
of-
40 feet as
Right.
opposed to 50 feet.
50, excuse me.
But the
That's what it was.
pavement is the same as would be required, it is the same,
Yep.
meets the requirement,
Correct, we're showing a 24-foot road.
Even-
And sidewalk, within
Sorry.
that 40-foot right of way.
right?
All right, sorry, it was
So it's just the property lines are narrower.
narrow. That's what it was,
Which
sorry.
leads into the retaining walls.
Right, there would be retaining walls required on both sides in that entrance
Good
corridor.
segue.
Yes. yeah.
Short walls, but there are too short.
With short walls?
3 to 4 feet, and then lengthwise long, height-wise short.
I thought,
Well, that's for them to find out. I mean, if you want to go on to that, there's obviously, and there's going to be a need for an easement, because I've never seen a wall constructed along the edge of somebody's property without having to get into someone else's property. So I don't see any type of easement. And the rounding, to me, is somewhat non-negotiable. The town needs to at least have an easement, permanent easement in that area to allow for the site distance clearance, because there's no site distance on that side. So I would not be in favor of granting the request for the waiver for the rounding. I would be in favor, yeah, I would consider it if we had a permanent easement. It isn't that has to be in, and this is me, not the board, but, you know, I would at least consider that, but I would not consider not having any ability to get or that, what the rounding would provide for us, let's put it that way. And that would be accomplished by the permanent easement. The other thing is, I looked at the grading on some of the back lots, and I have no idea how you're gonna access the thing. But I'll leave that to a permanent plan, but you're gonna need to show access, and something graded at 3 to 1 down is not adequate access.
I'm sorry, what did you say, greater
I
than
think it's 3 to 1
1?
grading on the plan, so.
The upgrading of the roadway is shown as 3 to 1.
Are you saying adequate access to the drainage?
Any homes.
To the homes? Is that, okay,
We have driveway requirement.
okay.
Yeah, I think one of the comments of Mr. Benoit was to look at grading of the site as part of the definitive, which we generally
Yeah.
do anyway.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're stating, yeah, it would be carried forward. I understand your concern. This is for a road, not the lots, but I understand what you're after. They have to coexist.
I would be more concerned, my concern at this point is access to, I want to make sure we have adequate access to the drainage system too.
Right, so we would grade the sewer easement, and obviously that'd be a stair-stepped sewer system, but we would grade that, and we would show you a roadway down to the drainage.
I don't know.
Martha?
No, I'm just listening at this point.
Okay.
I'm good.
Babe?
Thank you, Joe.
Yes, on the wall and the grading at the end of the cul-de-sac, I feel that if we do grant this, the subdivision, there should be a geotech design and be there as they're building both the slope and the walls, there'd be a geotech on site. So we assured that it's built to their specifications. And also, I got a major concern with the water downstream where Scott has problems already, and there's no need of adding on his problems without straightening out that problem first.
Any other comments or concerns?
Yeah, just to kind of, on the lines with what Babe had said and what Scott from the highway supervisor had said, basically that, you know, there are major concerns with flooding in that area already. You know, we talked to the town engineer on that. I don't know if you want to give them the highlight reel from our conversation earlier today and kind of what you explained to me and those concerns.
Yeah, so obviously, having been a design engineer, I understand how I would approach this and with the pre and the post, but I think I'm going to be looking at it a little bit because of the problems that exist there, to the point that the Board of Health issued a letter and they never issue a letter. So I want you to be cognizant of the volume of water, not just the rate,
If I may ask, who owns the field that's on the opposite side of Hayward?
the town.
Okay.
I can talk to you about some problems that may,
Yeah, no, I-
problems with that field, so. But yes, the town owns it, and there is drainage that goes through there, and very likely this ties into that somewhere, but we just don't know where.
Yeah, I mean, the GIS maps that the town provided, and we can talk about this offline, but it does appear to show at least two of the private owners tying into the drainage. Which makes sense from what I saw. Clearly, one of the lots is drained via pipe, which is small, but it's definitely carrying. So we're aware that drainage, I mean, it was in all five letters, it was the first conversation I had. These guys aren't at the bottom of it, so you get it.
Oh, it's just measuring the distance.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's some comments. Sorry, I missed kind of the beginning, but obviously the drainage thing, I definitely recommend like a phased construction plan be submitted as part of this, phasing to make sure that they're not clear cutting the entire lot. That might come out of their Concom approval, and that's fine, but I just don't want this whole thing clear cut and then have it run off while they're building it. That's kind of my intent for a phased construction plan. But also, we did get a letter from the Board of Health, subdivision control requires the Board of Health to give us a letter, and their concern again was the drainage that we've already discussed.
No, there is a reason why it would be.
I'm sorry, if I may, Joe, I'm whispering with Joe, Mr. Calagione, about a particular line on the plan. I just don't understand what it is. Have you figured it out?
Yeah, well, I believe that's the rule of 24, not you measured from the setback line.
That's it
needs to be a square at that point.
Oh, it's over here.
Yeah,
This.
that's how.
Martha, what sheet are you on?
That's the width.
C101, yeah, but
You're talking
why
about the
at
little-
that point?
Buildable parcel,
Because here's your buildable line.
you're talking about lot 7?
Yeah, this is just a dimension, it's still at this. See how it's got this little line right
Yeah,
here? That is the extension of this.
I'm lost. What's important about the width of the property at this point? Why not measure it?
It's not, it's,
Okay.
this is a measurement of the width of the property at this point. That's why these little, see how the arrow goes to the little line?
Okay. So at this dashed line, which is the setback,
Yes.
the width of the property is 115.1.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Can you
Yeah,
give me
Milford
a-
has an unusual lot width.
That's something
As
we
you're
should-
probably
Yeah,
aware.
that's
We
very
should
confusing.
We need to look at that.
Yeah, that,
Regulation, but.
and how it's depicted.
Can you give a quick highlight of what you were just talking about? I have a plan here, so if you want to go off of that one.
Can I-
101?
Yeah, of course.
You're going to do it?
Unless you have at it.
Oh, let's help him out.
For Joe and I.
So, where were we? I was at the 115.
So see how,
This arrow, and the other end is that arrow, and the measurement is 115.1. So I was like, well, what is it measuring?
because
what
it's
is
behind the
setbacks?
setback line.
Gotcha.
But it's not.
It's measuring the setback
It's measuring
the
it
setback.
at the
here to
setback.
here.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I just think that's a difficult way to depict it.
Understood. Thank you.
I thought that the 115.1 at that point, like, what is it demonstrating to us? What is it? All right, it's measuring 115.1 that's in a different place on the plan.
That's the way dimensions work. Change it to just say width.
Lot width.
15.
Lot setback widths. Otherwise, confusing. Thank you.
Procedurally, since we're talking about a preliminary subdivision plan, all this really does is trim down the amount of time that the board has to decide on a definitive plan. If they come in without a preliminary plan, it's 135 days. If they come in with one, it's 90 days. So whether or not this is approved or not, it's totally up to you, but the thing that we're really focusing on here are the waivers. And the waivers are what grounds for approval deny of this application. Am I mistaken with that? That's pretty.
Yeah, and we're also, I mean, obviously, it benefits us for all the foresight and information that we're going to get if we go through the full definitive, but there were the two waivers, and I think you spoke to both of them. Actually, you spoke to the rounding, I guess, specifically. But yeah, we'd love to hear what the board thinks of the 40-foot width. I'm pretty much certain I heard what the rounding concern is. We'll obviously demonstrate site distance, there's adequate site distance in both directions, but we can document that on a definitive plan.
And the parcel itself is rounded on one side,
Correct.
not the other
It's
side.
not the site distance per se, too. It's, you can do site distance today. Somebody can, because you don't own that property, somebody can put a tree out there tomorrow after we do the site distance, and it goes away. That's why I'm asking for that. That's why I'm saying I wouldn't grant the waiver for the rounding. Anyways, I'll make a motion, I actually will make a motion to not approve the preliminary site plan based on the fact of the request for the rounding waiver, and would grant the 40-foot roadway waiver. And then we have all the other comments. Again, those can't totally be addressed on a preliminary plan, so I'm not going to address those. But in terms of the two requested for the waivers, that would be my motion.
You have a second?
You began with to not approve the preliminary,
Yes.
so you don't want to approve it subject to not allowing,
The waiver
The
for...
first of the waiver.
Yeah, yes.
okay.
Yeah, because it's only procedural at this point.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect them whether we approve it or not approve it. It's just giving them a heads up, and it also tells them definitively on the waiver request.
Yeah, so the applicant, if this motion is approved, would have two choices. He could come in with a different preliminary subdivision plan, could he not?
He could, there's probably no
Or
reason.
move straight to definitive, taking this into consideration?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Okay.
And I wouldn't preclude them from filing a definitive with the same waiver request, but we certainly would hear you, and I wouldn't advise it, but that's not to say it won't happen.
Okay, I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
Any further discussion on that?
What else, comments? Mr. Manini, anything?
Okay,
Roll call vote?
let's do a vote. Roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Babe?
Aye.
Aye, as well.
Put a certificate
Okay.
together.
All right, well, thank you for your time. Our marching orders.
Okay, the next order of business is the amendment waiver of the site plan review, 40 Cape Road, A&M Auto Sales Repair.
Okay, so we didn't have to do the extension. That's good. All right.
I'll take the big one, Liz, how's that? Martha doesn't need it, she got her glasses now.
I've got my eyeglasses on. I'm lost.
Okay.
Good evening. For the record, John Federico with Courier and Helmon, and tonight I'm here with the applicants, Marcello and Wellington, in case there's any particular questions for them here. But for this project, we have an existing site. It's about 47,000 square feet located in the CC zone. The existing uses for this site were warehouse, office, and retail. And in the existing conditions, none of the parking area was striped, but everything was paved. For our proposal, we're looking to do a change of use for this plan to allow 2 units. One of them will be an office unit, and then the second unit will be a sales office with an auto repair. This project has been in front of ZBA for a special permit, and that was granted. As part of this proposal, we will be going in and essentially striping off 26 spaces. 14 of those would be to meet our parking calcs, and then the other 12 spaces would be for the display spaces that were granted as a part of that ZBA approval. As I mentioned, there's no existing striping out there, so all this new proposed striping would be compliant with town regulations. Again, everything is existing out there in terms of the building, pavement. We're not going to be cutting back any pavement, not adding any pavement. So at this point, I'll turn it over to the board if there's any questions or concerns.
Okay. We do have a letter from the fire department.
Sure. So, as mentioned, they're proposing sale of used cars and new office space with 10 display spaces shown on the plan. There's actually going to be 12.
Correct.
To be in zoning compliance, property needs 12 off-street parking spaces provided by the plan below. They're actually showing 15 spaces and 12 display spaces.
So that is actually 14 proposed spaces and then 12 display spaces, just for clarity.
14 and 12, sorry. 14 and 12, total 26 spaces. It meets all the minimum parking requirements. I don't see, I definitely recommend a favorable action on this since the special permit was already granted and there's no site changes to the parking lot or the structure.
Okay. As I mentioned, we have letters from both the Milford Water Company and the Milford Fire Department indicating that there is no conflict or issues. It's the pleasure of the board.
The only comment I had is, I don't see, I mean, you can count them, but don't we usually put down the number of used car sales spots on the plan? So that when
Versus customer parking?
I believe that's in,
So we have it hatched off
I know
in
that.
dark color there. If we need to
Well,
add in...
that means the Board of Selectmen has to actually count spaces when, because I believe they issued the permit based on the number. And normally we have the number listed so that it says that you're getting a common vicular license. or a-
I'd be more than happy to have
Particular,
a revised plan with a note or specifically calling out those spaces.
Yeah,
Just to make
no
sure
big
they
deal,
match
just,
up our plan and
this provides for, you got 3, what do you,
There's 12, yeah.
so yeah, you got 12 spaces for used car sales or something on there.
We can put a note or something on there to clarify that for
Otherwise, I
everybody.
don't
No
have any,
problem.
Yeah.
otherwise I don't have any issues. Babe, is that what we usually have on them? Number of spaces usually indicated for sale?
Yes,
Yeah, that makes
we
sense.
have customer spaces and sales spaces.
And Joe, you're saying that needs to be on this
On the
section,
plan
this
itself,
plan
yeah. So that way, the plan gets submitted to the board when they give their
Yeah.
Class 2 license, and it'll be, it specifically says how many spaces there are on there.
And I know in the past, some other applicants, so for a matter of consistency, we wanted other applicants to designate those sales spaces with different painted colored lines or hatching or anything like that. So I think for a matter of consistency, because we have asked other applicants to do that, again, so that way also our code enforcement department, they can go down and they'll know the difference between what are customer spots and what are designated for sale. So I would recommend that, or I would, from myself, require that we designate different striping compared
That's a-
for display versus
And signage,
customer.
too.
Yeah, or signage.
That's perfectly
Anyway,
acceptable on my
yeah.
end for it. Does the town have preference on signage versus striping? And if it is striping, is there any particular striping that the town is more in favor of?
I would just put up signs.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever works.
Designated as car sale sign, car
Yeah,
sale
whatever
parking.
works best for the customer, as long as
Okay.
it's,
That
kinda-
shouldn't be a problem for us.
there's no, in a sense, there's no bylaw or that we have, but we just, in a sense, to help out from the code enforcement side of things.
But those two
Yeah, no, that's
plan
not a problem
amend-
for us.
I'm sorry, excuse me. Those two plan amendments can be completed by the applicant and reviewed by staff? It doesn't have to come back to us?
Absolutely. Good
Would
with
there be
that.
agreement there?
Yeah, that's fine.
No.
I had a question. The ZBA decision refers to spaces 1, 2, and 3 will not be utilized for parking, but will be available for snow storage.
I was not at the ZBA meeting, so unfortunately, I'm not aware of what that specific condition is.
Yeah, which three spots?
So, I don't know.
That's,
Feel free to come up here for the plan.
I'm assuming it's the ones to the north.
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
Okay.
These three up
I
here.
would think the automobile display ones,
yeah,
or, or the ones at the very back.
Where is it?
So,
What's it say, Liz?
it's number 2, I think.
Yeah, the last time the guys recommended it's over here, but so I changed foot over there.
Yeah, so I don't know that this board is going to be okay with you using I didn't like the way that was written. It sounds like you're using.
It's like we just lost 3 spaces.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that the way it was calculated here, they're accounting for a lot more auto repair than.
Sales?
Yeah, so the way that's typically, isn't that?
so I believe for
So
our,
there's you have 2 per service bay. But you're counting many more. No, this one's just the 2 service bays, right?
yeah, so our numbers for that, we had specific to the sales portion, 192 square feet of office, coming up with a rounded number of 0.5 spaces, 2 service bays at 2 spaces for 4 spaces, and then we had about 2,016 square feet of display area total, which was.
Side?
Yeah, and that was equating to the an extra 0.4 spaces. So my total was somewhere around about a 4.9, and we were providing 6 for that. So we were 1 and change over.
Right, so I guess what I'm saying is the area for auto repair, even though there's only 2 overhead doors, the area is significantly more than 2 bays worth.
Gotcha, understood.
So I think they're meeting the technical requirement of the regulations for parking, but I would be especially hesitant to lose spaces.
3 spaces. 3's a lot.
Yeah.
3's a lot when you only have 9, whatever. I don't know.
Well, they have a special permit on something that is written that I got no clue on. So to me, we can't, until we figure out what they're actually saying, knowing this, I guess we probably shouldn't have done this at the time, because, I mean, if they're losing spaces, if those are 1, 2, and 3,
Right.
you can't use them, they're out. The number of display
You can use them in the
spots is
summer.
9. Yeah, but how is anybody going to, what constitutes? It doesn't say that. It says the decision marked space 1, 2, 3 will not be utilized for parking.
Yeah.
Well, not, yeah.
We don't have the choice to say you can use it in the summer or not. They
Yeah.
said you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not ours to say or not say. It's not a plan. I would agree with you that would be the case, but that isn't what the decision says. So I guess we need to ask the ZBA What was the
Which-
intent of
which-
condition 2?
And which spaces did they mean?
Which spaces, yeah, there's
Yeah.
no plan.
I don't see, yeah, they say the plan, but I'm not sure which plan it is, and it's not shown
Right.
on this plan. None of them are designated,
I-
numbered.
I know in the past they've marked the plan that they have at the meeting, but that didn't come with the decision, so there's just no way for us to know.
Yeah.
One of the other, and the office area for the car sales, I think. That's the office, that's the Unit 1 office, right?
So the Unit 1 office is intended to be an office space, and then the Unit 2 office, it's a little hard to see, but if you look at the inset detail, there is a small corner that will be some office space there.
For the auto sales.
Correct.
How are customers going to get to that office space?
Would you guys be able to share any information for that?
Yeah, I have a space inside the house.
Like, is there like a walk,
But
like a
how
direct walkway?
how
or
do they
anything?
get from,
Yes, I have one walkway.
Okay.
but so
Access inside
the
house.
way it looks is they're gonna be walking through the repair garage to get to the office. And I don't think that's something, it's not really our purview because it's inside, but I guess I was just concerned about that. I don't know that that's allowed. From your insurance standpoint, and the building department might have an issue with it as well, because I don't know if it would be considered, an accessible route.
Right.
It depends on what, you can't tell.
Exactly. So
I mean,
it's
if there's a
just,
door there and there's a walkway along one side, then it's probably
Yeah.
fine if you're not walking out into the Bay Area, but
Right.
again, it's not our purview, it's just something that you guys need to be aware of, and if there isn't, and you're walking through the garage doors, your insurance company's probably gonna say, no, you can't do that.
right. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. The other thing is, I don't know if there's floor drains in there. But if there are floor drains, there should be a oil water separator, a holding tank.
So I personally am not aware if there is anything holding tank related there. I do know one of the previous uses, I think, was like an asphalt contractor, so I'm assuming they would have had proper floor drains and stuff for the type of equipment they have there.
I don't remember. I don't know if they said they weren't storing stuff inside there or not. I don't remember.
Are you guys aware of any sort of oil water separator for your floor drains?
I have one a septic tank.
Yeah, there's this,
Yeah, not septic tank, just one tank inside the
It's like
garage.
a holding
Yeah.
tank, below ground, above
Yeah.
ground?
oh, it's inside the garage?
Yeah, inside the garage.
I guess I assume that I don't know how that would work with
Inspector?
plumbing inspector, but they're not making any changes to the inside of the building.
Yeah, but we have to check as to usage, as to what that was installed. He should,
Getting beyond our purview.
change of use, the plumbing inspector still would need to look at it. I don't remember what the original permit was for.
Okay.
And I don't remember
If
what that
there's,
was
so,
done under.
yeah, we just, if there are floor drains, which I'm pretty certain there have to be floor drains when you have garage doors like that, then that floor drain needs to be tied into a holding tank that you pump out when it's full, yeah. There is a tank there's another tank on the exterior that's connected to, I believe, a catch basin, but that's part of the drainage system. It can't be connected, the floor drains can't be connected to that. Dumpster enclosure?
So there is an existing dumpster pad there. We're just intending to use that. It's in between.
Yeah, but if there's no, is there a fence in the front?
Yeah, I have one a gate.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't tell from the plan.
I think it's up here, if I remember correctly.
Is it up front, isn't it? Oh, it's over there.
So I just couldn't tell if the fence went across the front,
Yeah.
if there was a gate
I
across the
think
front.
it is, yeah. I
Looks
think
like
it
it's
is.
partly in Cortlandt Street.
I think that's all I had.
Yeah, actually, that should be checked.
Yeah, it looks like the dumpster's partly in
Dumpster
the
pad looks
street
like
right
it's in the street
away.
right away.
Yeah. Check the location of the dumpster, seems to be over the property line.
So I know that that was a part of our existing conditions. If we need to cut out any extra pavement and pull it forward a little bit, we definitely do have some ability to work that without impacting the drive aisle.
Well, yeah, and if it's fenced like it's supposed to be, that means the fence is in public property too. It's
Yeah.
gonna need to be moved.
Okay. Yeah, we can.
We're gonna need to check all those things. This has to be continued to our next meeting to clear these up.
Yeah.
And where's the dumpster located?
Right at the opposite of the driveway where it comes in.
Drive-in.
Oh,
straight
right there,
ahead.
okay, perfect. Oh, yeah, existing dumpster pad.
So I guess my question would be, as far as any of these go, I mean, we can definitely make the updates for the dumpster, add in a couple of things as needed for it. Would we be able to do a conditional approval for anything at all tonight, or unfortunately, we are going to have to come back?
There's too many issues. I mean, we don't even know if those 3 parking spaces are the ones they're talking about, and you have to get rid of them, because that's what it says in their decision or not, in which case you don't have enough room to have 12 display things, so the plan is incorrect, so I don't know how we can conditionally
Yeah,
approve
that's a
it.
big issue.
So I don't see any way it can be
We need
conditionally
to, yeah,
approved.
we need to understand what 3 spaces
Would you
ZBA
need
was referring to.
us to go back to ZBA for that? Is that anything that can be handled like department to department type of thing at all?
No.
Okay.
I
Just
don't- I mean, I guess I can ask.
I guess was ZBA ZBA should have submitted a set of plans specifying 1, 2, 3, so I would go to the ZBA and say, give us those
Where's
plans.
the ZBA office?
If only.
Well,
Well, you could try.
We can check
well,
with-
Matt
we can
can
check
reach
with-
out to David and see what,
Yeah.
I can't see these guys having to go back to the
Staff can
ZBA for
figure it
something.
out.
No, yeah.
And I only asked that just because I'm not sure like when the meeting is, if that conflicts when your guys' next meeting would be, if we wouldn't be able to get in front of them beforehand, so that's the only reason why I asked that.
Yeah.
Why, I
I'm
I
trying to
didn't
avoid
mean-
these guys
No,
going to have to go back.
and I didn't
Yes,
mean
right.
for them to have to go back to
Yeah.
ZBA. I just,
Okay.
I don't know, he can, that's an excellent suggestion, is have Matt reach out to Dave.
Yes.
Or I could as well.
Watch the meeting.
I mean, at the point in time
Just
when
to get an
when it
idea.
becomes clear, they may want to go back or not, depending on what that actually
Right.
meant, but it
point.
can't go this way because it's,
We don't know what
we
they
have to
meant.
follow their decisions, and we don't know what their decision actually means.
Would you guys, would you be concerned about snow?
Yeah, and that's a congested area.
So I get, that's my question, is if they went back to ZBA to have that removed, you guys are still gonna want
Snow.
snow storage
Removal.
area?
Yeah.
Or snow
Well, I mean,
removal?
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of, that whole area was that way before we approved it this way. It looked this way before. Apparently, we didn't, I don't know. If we go back to our original plans and say and I haven't heard of any issues down here in terms of that, and we didn't specify it then, I don't know why I would want to change that at this point. We didn't do it before. I'm not going to put that all on them, per se. I mean, I think they could probably push, it looks like they have, it becomes a conservation issue to a certain extent.
Yeah, this
They could
wetlands
push it beyond those 3 spaces over the curb and put it right before the wetland. I mean, that's where it's going probably anyway, but
Well, I want to give them some guidance as to whether or not it's worthwhile for them to try and get that out, or if you guys are going to require a snow.
I mean, to get that out, it's going to have to go back. I think the question more becomes, what was the intent that they wrote that on, more than anything? I mean, I think David has to answer, this is what it says. If it says, I don't understand where he says he had 12 spots, but again, I'm,
Yep, okay, we'll check with,
yeah.
Yeah, to me, I mean, I think it's, DBA, obviously, is not well-defined. I mean, I'm assuming it's those 3 spots, but again, until it is clearly defined, I get that.
Yeah, because I don't know where they're going to display 12 if he's telling us that those 3 spaces are not usable. There's not enough room
Right.
then to display 12.
Right.
Babe, do you have any other comments?
No, I got no comments.
Okay.
And then one quick thing, if I'm looking at Unit 2, existing office, that verbiage, if I go just to the left of that, showing a 1,500-gallon separator, is that what you're talking about then? Or is
Yeah,
that
that's different.
a different one?
That's-
Okay, just wanted to
Yeah.
clarify.
That's part of the
drainage,
drainage
yeah.
system.
Yeah, okay.
Which needs to be different from the
Yeah, the garage drains.
garage.
Understood.
Yes.
Just wanted to clarify that.
So Matt, is that something that we could get done? Get some clarification on
I'm
that?
looking at the ZBA minutes right
Okay.
now.
Oh, good.
Just trying to see if I can get an answer on this.
Oh, perfect.
This was September 11th, and this was issued, right?
I believe so. October 21st.
October 21.
It might have been that
their meetings
meeting,
are
that one was
October
ZBA,
2nd,
A lot of times they do
and the 9th,
their decisions
and the
a month
13th.
after they meet.
Hold on.
Do you want anybody there?
It's K now. Decision was filed on October 21st.
Yeah.
Filed October 21st, the hearing.
Even with the,
Yeah.
I still think you're going to need to see the
There's
plan.
a ZBA meeting on October 21st. It was filed on
Yeah,
November 12th, sorry.
I've seen them do it at other meetings where they mark up on the plan, this is where we want stuff, or, you know, this is where we want shrubbery or whatever. And so I'm guessing that's what they did, was
They
marked
probably numbered
1, 2, 3.
yes, they probably numbered the parking spaces.
So I don't know if it's worthwhile looking through the meeting minutes. I think we need to see the, I think we need to see the
Date of
plan.
the hearing.
Yeah, you're going to need to go back to David. I mean, the meeting was actually September 11th. The decision was rendered on the 21st.
October 21st.
Upon receipt of the above petition was scheduled
chair
on
the chair
Thursday,
of the
September
board.
11th.
You can probably
All right, I got it.
track
It's
him
the
or her
11th.
down somewhere.
Yeah.
They would hopefully recall.
Well, at first, I would just check, at first, honestly, I would just check with Melissa in legal, because she likely has whatever paperwork.
Oh.
If she doesn't have it, then I would say we can go to Dave and get some understanding.
Who's the chair?
Dave Kinsigley.
Oh, sure, of course, yeah. He's been chair for
I don't think it matters at
30
this
years.
point. I would say we continue this and get all these things
Yes, for the
straightened out, and
clarity.
we'll just move on.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Gotta go. Roll
Yeah,
call.
it needs to be okay with the extension.
Oh, should we specify it when or just?
First meeting in January.
Yeah.
The applicant has to be okay with the extension,
Second.
so they need to be okay with the extension.
Okay. Are you okay with that?
Extension.
For the first week of January?
Yes, that would be fine. That will be the January 6th meeting?
Yes.
Did we vote?
We have to do a roll call.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
Joseph,
set, Matt?
roll call.
Aye.
Yep, just need a roll call.
Aye.
Aye.
Babe? Okay. Aye, as well.
All right.
Dave was an aye,
Yeah.
with a thumbs up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I'm going to be on for the next hearing. Could I just get 5 minutes just to briefly recap this with my clients before we start that next one?
Yep.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And now I'm connecting stuff to other.
You can skip to
Number 8.
7 if you want, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
ZBAs.
And go to 8. Okay. We'll skip 7 for now.
Oh,
You can go to 7.
Okay.
Skipping 6.
We're skipping 6. All right. The ZBA referral, 11 Cornell Drive.
So this is more of a matter of procedure at this point because we've already, the ZBA already heard this one because this took place during our off meeting where we didn't have an extra meeting in November. The ZBA already met, so I sent them a letter asking them to weigh in without our recommendation, and they did. So this is just on our agenda if we wanted to give one anyway, but they've already done it.
Exactly.
I guess he hasn't been here long enough.
Motion to send a favorable.
Did they approve it?
They did.
Motion to send it unfavorable?
Okay, so do we have a motion?
No, we don't need to do
No.
it. There's no reason to do
Yeah,
anything.
okay.
There's no reason.
So we're good, we don't need to take action on that. Okay.
8, I guess you can go
So 8, we got ZBA referral at 1 Esther Drive.
Sir.
So it's a special permit for an accessory use
Thank you. No problem.
to allow animals in the RC zoning district.
Yeah, so my understanding here is she had 3 dogs, 2 of them had puppies, and they got rid of most of the puppies and they decided to keep 2. So now they have 5. The yard is entirely fenced in. It's a beautiful 6-foot vinyl fence. I saw it today.
A beautiful what?
The backyard is entirely fenced in. It's really well done. I don't see where there's any issues with this. They got a large enough property for it. I recommend a favorable to the ZBA.
Can
You
we,
have more than 3 or 4 dogs?
3.
I hope this isn't inappropriate, but can we specify that she have the dogs neutered?
I don't think we can.
Well, you could add it into the,
Unless she's a breeder, unless
ZBA
they're
referral.
breeders.
Well,
I'd
you
really
could-
like to
you
put
could-
that
you
in
could
there.
You could specify the number of, the recommendation for the total number of animals.
Right.
Right. That's it, though.
So if they have puppies, then they're over the limit.
You guys don't see any way to throw that into the,
I don't think we have any.
no.
I don't either. I don't think we have that authority, but I'm sure not happy.
You can add it for a matter of formality. It just may not stick. So it can at least be read at the ZBA meeting.
I'm going to do that. With a strong
Yeah, you
suggestion.
can suggest it, but
Yeah.
Okay, any other comments, Babe?
No comments.
make a motion that we send a favorable recommendation to the ZBA with a maximum of 5 dogs and that a suggestion that the dogs that are on site be spayed or neutered as appropriate.
I'll second.
Any
I'll
other
second it.
discussion on that?
I'll second it, because
fine.
I'm not sure what the alternative is.
I'll second, that's fine.
I sure don't want to see them
It's already been
euthanized.
seconded.
Oh, my dear.
Am I all over the map?
I think, well, my own personal opinion, I think we're going over the line on this one.
I only recommended it, it's not, it was a recommendation.
It's a
I don't-
recommendation to the ZBA, and the ZBA,
Well, no, and the recommendation is that they have them spayed or neutered. That's not that they have to. It was a recommendation. But the 5 dogs maximum is that's more than a recommendation. That's
Yeah.
the maximum.
well, it's still only a recommendation to the ZBA.
Well, that's true, too, but,
is all I'm saying.
but that was an actual,
Yes.
that's something that they could put in. The other one, they can make the decision how they want to do it.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I'm sorry, what is the maximum under the zoning?
3. Anything over
3, okay.
All right. Well, let's have a vote on that.
Aye.
I'm holding off for a moment.
Yes, aye.
Babe?
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
I vote no.
I knew you were going to do that, that's why I went aye. I'm sympathetic to, we're aligned here, Joe. I'm going to let it go forward. Because I want that note, please spay them in there, spay neuter.
Okay.
Signature for that one.
People spay or neuter.
queued up on the next one?
Big issue with me, clearly.
I get it, yeah. It's a heavy one.
All right, so we have another ZBA referral,
Yes, sir. So,
100 Medway Street.
yes, sir, this came to us earlier this year. So the variance was issued by the ZBA, and they got some of the numbers wrong with the proposed lot frontage in their decision. So they had to go back and reapply. So that's all this is to update the numbers from the proposed lot frontage is 194 feet, and the width is to be 206.26. Unfortunately, the number for the frontage was erroneously labeled as, same as the width. It was labeled at 206 as the frontage, but it should be labeled as 194. That's all this is. That's all they're trying to do. So it was recorded.
Which property is this?
This is the bank.
Next to the cemetery.
The new Milford.
Across from Coles, the old Tom Mitchell Bank
yeah.
property.
So they labeled the
Yeah,
frontage
across from
wrong, so they had to reapply. That's really all this is.
Motion to send a favorable to the ZBA.
Second.
Any discussion on that?
No.
Okay.
Aye.
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 And I vote aye as well.
Now we can go back to 6, I think.
Okay. Next order of business here. The number 10, the fee schedule amendment.
We can go back, we want to do 6, Joe, he's back if
Are
you
you
want.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's do 6. That'd be 336 Main Street, auto parts, retail, repair.
Great.
For the record, John Federico with Gurrier and Hellman, and tonight I'm here with the applicants, Jan Carpentry, and it's Josamir and Greg that are with us tonight. For this site, we have 2 existing lots under common ownership. It is totaling about 26,000 square feet located in a CB zone. The Lot 269 has an existing non-conforming structure located on it. We're not proposing any changes to the physical structure itself, a couple internal modifications. And Lot 268 is a vacant parcel that is currently being used for some parking. For our existing uses, it's a retail auto parts store, and for our proposed use, the applicant is looking to have a portion that will be small equipment repair. So we're looking at generators, lawnmower type engines, nothing much larger than that. An office and sales space with 4 display spaces for cars and a small retail portion for it. As a part of this proposal, we are going to be looking to install new signage out there, restripe the existing paved area located on Lot 269.
That's the
And then on Lot 268, we're looking to install a dumpster pad and have a fence go around that area so that they can seclude that parking and shield it from any abutters. Right now, in total, we're looking at 8 equipment bays and a total of 880 square feet of retail area. We have already gone in for a ZBA special permit, and that was issued on September 19th. And in terms of our parking calcs, we have based the parking on automotive sales and repair, as well as office space. We are required 24.8 spaces in total, and the site will have 25 normal spaces with 1 handicap space for a total of 26. This is going to be a change of use. We're not proposing anything additional for impervious area. I think we might have to just slightly expand the gravel parking area by approximately 100 square feet, but that is a relatively negligible number for the grand scheme of things here.
So I don't know if they, if the ZBA tried to put in, I thought when we sent this recommendation, I thought you had asked for that gravel parking lot to be paved.
That's correct.
And I think they almost tried to put it in here because there was something in here. Oh, no parking shall be allowed on the grass areas as shown on the plan. But I don't know if that's what they meant or whatever, but.
Yes, from the discussions that they were having, essentially, they didn't want to have, additional stacking of cars over here and creating this as a
okay.
secondary parking lot.
Okay, so no.
So they just wanted to restrict that area.
This goes back to Landscape Depot. To me, I don't know who was on the board at the time. Dave was on the board. We showed display spaces, and I don't know how those are ADA accessible in a gravel parking lot. Are they going to take the grader out every day to make sure that to me, they're not ADA accessible. So I can't approve the plan as a gravel parking lot.
As far as that goes, if we were to have like a ADA accessible walking area, whether it was small concrete sidewalk, a paved
Get to the
sidewalk.
car
or
and
anything.
get to the sides of each of the cars to look at them.
Okay.
That's too bad. I see your point. Would you rather, may I, Joe? I'm sorry, I jumped right in.
Yes, please.
It's
So,
impervious or not impervious?
so
Aside from Joe's very
I am
valid
in
issue.
So if you're talking about the parking lot, in my mind, you should be having an impervious surface that goes to a catch basin so that it's cleaning the
Yep.
oil and whatever before it gets discharged to, or infiltrates into the ground.
So those issues outweigh the valid concern of too much impervious space on our planet. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
Good question. I said, good question.
We actually went through the same thing on Dilla Street too with the buses. They ended up paving.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
As we progress along, then another question would be, though, the applicant's looking for, is it auto retail sales?
Yes. It'd be auto sales, and then there's a small retail component.
Okay, so auto sales. So where are the designated spots for
So
In the
retail
gravel
sales?
parking lot.
we have 4 spaces shown here in the back corner.
Okay.
And those would be intended to be the display spaces.
Yeah. So again, part of that whole, designated as display spaces that needs to be presented.
Yep, we can definitely put some signage up on the building if need be. That's not a problem in that case.
Was this submitted before you guys adopted the stormwater regs?
Yes. To the ZBA.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it
To
was.
the ZBA was.
Okay, yeah, certainly to ZBA, all right. Well, because otherwise that's a whole,
Yeah.
I mean, I still need you to, I still need to see some, I still want to see some treatment at the catch basin, but I'm not as concerned with.
If we did have to go with anything like that, and I'll discuss with the applicants and the property owner about any sort of pavement out there, I know in the back of the property, or, essentially the back of these lots, not back
Yeah,
of the
we
building.
discussed this, right?
It is Godfrey Brook that's over there.
Yeah.
So like, in terms of the catch basin, is that leaching catch basin? Do you need that to go to like an infiltration system? Is that outlet to Godfrey Brook? Like, what would be the connection and everything?
I think I'm generally fine with an outlet to Godfrey Brook. I don't want a leaching catch basin for the same, I don't like leaching catch basins because the catch basins collect the oil and sediment, so if you're infiltrating oil, that's not good.
Not good.
So that's my and not, that's not necessarily the right answer, but, because as far as stormwater design is concerned, they're pushing a lot more of the, basically leaching catch basins, because you're distributing the infiltration throughout the site better. But, and again, in my mind, it's not worth the trade-off. But, yeah, I would be looking for at least a catch basin with a hood, and then discharge to the,
I don't know, do you actually have access to the brook?
So our property line does cut right through the middle of the brook here. So
okay.
we do have a small portion of this little retaining wall here that potentially we can work with within our property.
I would really love if you would put some infiltration, even if it's like an offshoot of the catch basin in the grass area. That would be fantastic.
Sounds like a good plan.
Does this then trigger conservation in any way?
It's definitely conservation once you pave the back.
Probably.
Well, it probably would have been
probably would have been
anyways,
anyway,
because I don't believe that that's a level area back there now, totally. I mean, me worrying about ADA is minor compared to trying to put the cars back in there and actually having potholes and stuff to begin with, and I don't believe it's graded that well, but that's just my recollection. So I think they would have to get out and do construction to get to this point,
I don't
to
see
make
it
it actually
being a
look like
problem
this.
with conservation, but I do think it's gonna need a filing.
Okay. Would you require RDA in
I don't know,
that case?
I'll
or
have to look into
Okay.
it and let you know.
And then in this case here, with it being Godfrey Brook, I don't know if that is classified as riverfront in any way,
That's what I need to
or
find out, because if
okay,
it's a river at that point, then an RDA can't
okay.
happen.
And then with that being like channelized as well, with the walls kind of defining the edge, does that affect how that gets viewed at all in any way, shape, or form, or any offsets
If it's a
or
ri-
buffers are just taken from that
If it's
edge?
considered a river, then, yeah, they're from the channel walls,
Okay.
either way.
Step back to a couple of the basics. Can you go over the fence relocation?
Sure. So as a part of this project, and I believe all the work has already been done for it, this abutter here has constructed a portion of their home on to this parcel.
Right.
They were the ones that had put in this fence area, and this was their shed.
Right.
Mr. Rahman, who is the property owner, has already spoken to them about that, and they were relocating it to as what we have shown here, and that shed was going to be brought onto their property so that everything would be compliant for it. So essentially, all it is just a, I think it's a wooden fence that they're putting in, that's just going to be moved closer to that lot line.
I think it's already done.
In terms of anything that we're proposing, we are going to be asking for a fence that would go around the rest of the property with gate.
Right. So that's why. So that existing fence is on,
I see.
that fence was put in by the abutter,
I see.
but is on the property of the applicant.
I see.
So that's why. So what is the distance?
And I believe right now that, again, this fence that's shown here,
Right.
that has already been corrected out in the field. It's no
it
longer
has?
in place. Yes.
Okay. All right, sorry. I thought you,
That little one.
It's no longer.
This fence
Okay.
here is no longer there. It's now just this fence here, and that's the newly proposed fence.
so that fence does exist, what you're saying newly proposed on
Yeah.
the plan.
New to this project does exist, from my understanding.
So, yeah, and my only question was how far off the side of the house is that fence? And is
I
there
don't
any-
have an exact dimension, but I can
It's-
provide one for you guys.
Doesn't,
Pretty close.
the house is on the property, is over the property line. so-
Well, yeah, exactly. And from, my next series of questions would be, has the fire department weighed in on that, and does it cause any level of concern there? Because now you have a fence right up against the house from an adjacent property.
It's just a,
So,
No, and it's not the adjacent property's fence, it's their fence.
well, the
Sort of.
the adjacent structures on the, again, I'm just bringing up
No, it's not.
more,
It's in our street.
It's not a fire,
just, yeah. I would like for the fire department to weigh in on something like that, just to give their 2 cents. I'm not, again, it just, to me, there's something that just
That neighbor's
seems-
house has a different entrance on the left side. It has 2 entrances.
Yeah, it's a multi-family house.
So on the left, if you're looking towards the house, the left side has another entrance where he parks his cars there. So it was 2 entrances.
Yeah, okay. And then just another question regarding the doorway, garage door on the side on Green Street.
Yep,
so she can see that.
that's okay.
So yeah, the intention, obviously, from the pictures, that is just a boarded up opening is the intention to reconstruct that into a
Yes, to be
usable
a door,
garage
yes.
door? And then my question then to kind of the two town people is whether or not there's an issue with having a garage door right on basically the right-of-way, and there's no queuing area for any equipment going in and out. So,
Have you gone over to,
the building department?
no.
Oh, I thought you were pointing towards John's office.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was
You were pointing in that
I
direction.
was pointing in that direction, but no.
Yeah.
Further.
This, I can't think of Spruce Street. The one on the corner of Spruce and School Street.
And what's, a school?
The garage door is on the property line, and there, every so often is.
I know what you're talking about.
There, every so
Lily
often
cleaners.
is a truck half parked in the garage and half out.
So that's what I'm concerned with.
Trying to avoid?
This,
Concern,
Essentially,
avoid, yeah.
anything internal to the building, we're looking at each bay to be about 10 feet wide, 20 feet deep. So there would be essentially like a main access aisle, like a drive aisle,
Yeah.
that essentially would be
Interior, yeah.
interior to the building.
Yeah.
So, you know,
it's a very, it's a much more accommodating, so this, and this was part of the reason I brought up with the last site plan. They were only going by the number of garage doors, which technically you can, but in this case, they're showing the bays as spaces in the, inside the building. So I think in this case, the intention is for them to just use it to get in and then park and
Yeah.
whatever. And I think they've made a good faith effort to propose that, as well as the garage doors shall not be left open at any time during repair of vehicles or equipment is in the special permit.
Correct. Again, I don't think there's not much we can do from our side. I just want to make note of that. And then with that, and again, along that side of the building, what sort of,
Pedestrian access.
yeah, pedestrian access, because now we're going to have parking in the back, entrances in the front. Joe, you talked about, just the ADA requirements, and if you look at the picture here and the kind of that,
Is there
what you call a walkway, sidewalk,
existing
concrete, what,
pavement or sidewalk that's
just make note of, are there more concessions for the applicant that are going to need to be
Well,
considered?
they, with the plan that comes back, they should, if those are the display areas, they need to show from the building to the display areas an ADA accessible walkway.
That's, yeah.
So that may be there, it just needs to be shown. So they're gonna have to look at the slopes of those things and make sure that,
There's a 4-foot space
Yeah.
on the side of the building.
it's flat.
Towards,
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's flat enough, but it's gonna have to, I mean, you're gonna need to show some spot grades or whatever to make sure that that's,
There's a 4-foot
there's some-
space between the building and the street.
Yeah.
So much that Frank Appliances, they park their trucks on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you look at one of the pictures,
So
Joe,
maybe we should get some
this
real
back
parking.
corner, I mean, you can see the slope. So again, I'm just raising concerns, just things that you please address those things, so when the next time you come back,
Yeah.
we can, be asked and answered.
Sure, no problem.
Babe, do you have any comments?
No comments.
Anybody else?
no, that's all I have.
Okay, I just have it's kind of a easy one. Is there any plans to do anything on the Main Street side, on the east, I'm sorry,
So the front portion of the property, we're just going to be restriping that parking area.
Okay.
And then installing a new sign out there.
Okay.
So that sign would be brought onto our property, not located out in the right-of-way.
right on the very corner, there used to be, looks like a light pole or something?
That was, at least from my understanding, existing signage for this building.
Okay.
So again, that's all going to be
Taken
removed
care of.
and then
Yeah,
everything
that's
moved
very
onto the
dangerous, the
property.
way it is right now.
Yeah, no, that was one of our intentions to get corrected out
Need
there.
a sign shown on this plan?
Are you proposing a freestanding sign?
Yes, yeah, that's located in this front corner up over here where we have the call out and everything.
I'm sorry?
I thought I saw it.
Oh, it's already shown, oh, okay.
Typically, when we have parking on a separate parcel from the it's in common ownership. We have, I don't know if we did it as part of the conditions or whatever, but that if they,
Yeah, we did.
if they're sold, they
Yeah, they
need
have to go
be-
together.
Yeah, if they're sold, they need to come back for site plan review or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
As far as a condition like that goes, that's
Yeah.
fine, acceptable on our end.
Okay? It's the pleasure of the board.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what's in there. I mean, it was at one point in time an auto dealership, but then again, that was so many years ago that I don't know
Might
that
have
the
been
code was the
pre.
same.
I know we do have existing floor drains in there. They are functioning floor drains, and from our understanding, everything is at least going out towards Godfrey Brook. I have not been able to identify a final outfall, though, for those floor drains.
Have not been able to identify,
The final outfall of the floor drains.
and what
So-
treatment happens before it gets there?
Probably none. If, or maybe it goes into, he's saying the pipe in the building heads towards the brook, but it could head into a leaching pit.
Right,
Who knows?
there's no way to determine that?
I have not climbed down into the brook to try to see or anything. At least from any visual observations, I couldn't see like a pipe projecting out or anything.
Yeah.
So at this
That's-
point, I believe it is going into some type of leaching area or something along those lines.
All right, so I don't know if it would be this board or the conservation, but one or the other, I'm gonna at least want to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can legally do it, can he?
Can you, I don't know, drop some non-toxic dye in there and see where it happens?
Yeah, so I think from a conservation standpoint, if it's illegal. It's illegal no matter what's happening. So they probably need to put in a tank
Yeah,
to capture
It's
it.
not, yeah. I mean, if it's straight outfall,
not good.
and I would assume the other work definitely needs a building permit, which means they're gonna need, so the plumbing code's gonna come in on it,
Yeah.
so.
And I will try to get some additional clarity if need be. That is the purview.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ours.
Yeah,
But
that's
you need to be worried about it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's possible. Depending on if there's a tight tank in there, then you're probably all set, but I have no idea based on, I think the car dealership predates me living in Milford. I won't want to say how long ago that was.
It was a car dealership for a very long time, then it became CarQuest, which was a parts
Yeah.
sale.
Yep, before
It was
that.
a dealership for a very long time.
Yeah, I know, but the problem was that the building was built prior to there being a code into what you could do with floor drains. So back in the day, floor drains could have gone directly into Godfrey Brook. That's no longer allowed.
From what I seen, it doesn't have nothing, it doesn't have nothing connected, there's no drain pipes going to the stream.
Yeah,
Right.
and if that's the case, that may be fine. Again, it's going to be a question, though. Someone's going to ask
Yeah,
as to
we just need to
where's your
know.
floor drains go. If it goes to a tight tank, then that's fine, you're all set. If it goes somewhere else, then that'll be an issue.
It's just
I don't, can we
something to
get,
be
can we,
looking into.
is this doable to get done first meeting in January, or should we extend this to?
Definitely do the first meeting, for sure. Give some the
You can
opportunity.
If we do have to
Extend
continue,
further?
I'd like to ask for the first meeting, and then we can always just ask for an additional continuance if need be for that. I know we do want to talk to the property owner and the applicants about some of the things regarding the pavement areas, catch basin and some stuff, so just want to have an option to either come back and give an update or, proceed forward with things.
If you, I mean, I guess I'll make a motion that we go to the first meeting in January. It's quite a bit of stuff to do considering you got holidays in there.
Before we officially vote for anything, is there any questions or anything so far on your guys' end?
No, no, for now.
Okay.
Second.
Any further discussion? Let's do a vote.
Aye.
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 Babe?
Aye.
Aye. All right, January 6th.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Extension request for you to sign.
Oh, thank you. That's what I was going to ask for. I didn't see this.
It's not a bad idea, I was just curious.
I think I might have signed one or two before, but I'm not sure if that was for ZBA.
Yeah, no, like he said, I think Larry would do it for
Public
public
hearings.
hearing.
Yeah, public hearings is definitely.
There's a checkbox on here for site plan review, so there you go.
Does this mean that these towns have a town engineer, but they don't assist the planning board?
Okay, fee schedule.
Yeah, it could be.
Hell,
They go out to
That's
the
very odd.
sub-consultant. They have them, they hire a.
Milford's got the strangest.
Okay, should we do
Obviously, it makes
the
better-
100
I mean,
Medway Street?
For this purpose, yes. it
We are
does.
under fees.
But, no offense, but what's the town engineer do if they're not helping out the planning board? I mean, I realize there's a bunch of other stuff.
They
but-
do, yeah, they do, they
they're
do
part of
road
DPW.
designs
They're-
and stuff like
okay.
that.
Of course,
We missed this one, didn't we?
but still,
Yep.
I don't know how this
Medway was
board
the
would
bank
function without
with
a
the
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's what they end up.
frontage.
They end up just having
contracting.
contract.
But clerical.
Okay, great.
Actually, I like this setup.
I think
All right, why don't we get into
Milford is-
item 10, the fee schedule?
Creature, yeah.
So there's a large spreadsheet that gave us all the fees from all our surrounding towns. What's interesting is, all of these towns don't have a town engineer who reviews plans. Either they don't have one, or they have one that doesn't review for the planning board.
I just was
Yeah.
speaking offline with Elizabeth, and
that's
I
not,
find that kind of stunning.
it's not particularly surprising to me because
Right.
typically the town engineer works is under the DPW
Right.
umbrella.
Right.
So they're doing all that stuff and not, I mean,
So a lot of them have built-in 53E and a halves for their town engineer to do it, or they do 53G fees. They have consultant fees applications on here. I didn't add those on here because I didn't think it was relevant to this. So, anyway. This is stuff for us to review. I didn't make a recommendation based on anything here because there's a lot to digest. I mean, the Form As are pretty solid across. I think 150 is pretty good. Preliminary plan, and this is kind of all over the place. Most of them are right at 500. This one is at 1,500 in Holliston. I thought that was way too much for a preliminary plan.
Holliston's crazy.
Yeah. But I think we're pretty good there. Our definitive
Oh, no, I'm thinking Hopedale.
is,
Oh,
I don't know, it's kind of low, I think.
did you know that there's a per linear foot of road, I think it's per linear foot of road inspection fee?
Yeah. I put that on here, didn't I?
Is it?
I can't possibly, I have no idea when the last time that was collected because I didn't know it was there until
Yeah, it's in our definitive regs.
How long
It's
you been our
like-
town engineer?
3 years.
So we haven't collected in 3 years.
I mean, in fairness, it's been two very small subdivisions
Yes,
that I've
yes.
looked at, but
Yeah, we were the only town that had one of those. Final inspection.
Interesting.
So, but our definitive plan for, at 1,000 was the lowest, other than Bellingham. Maybe we bump that up.
Kind of think I'd
Maybe
like to
2.
study this.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like to take some time to look at this, and if I should have
By all
before
means.
this evening, I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. We'll put this on our next
I mean, I
agenda.
looked at it, I didn't evaluate it, or,
Okay. Site plan review was kind of low compared to Holliston, Medway, and Hopedale.
why is site plan modification and a waiver of site plan review the same thing? They seem like very different things to me.
Yeah, for some reason, there was an application online that included both, and that's what they filled out for both of these. but they should be two separate applications.
I think so. One may require a plan and the other may not.
Right. Or some pre-existing plot plan without new engineering. At least the waiver one, anyway.
Procedural question, if and when we choose to modify this fee schedule, what is the procedure?
Just needs to be on our agenda. That's it.
So it doesn't need to go to town meeting, we are the
No, these are
keepers of the
ours.
fees?
Do you have to have a public hearing though?
Nope.
I don't think so, no.
No, it just needs to be on the agenda.
I guess, looking again then at the next meeting, do you feel like are you going to propose what these fees should be? Obviously, right now, you've kind of set the spreadsheet of where each town is. I think from my side of it, I'd like to see what your recommendations would be.
Okay.
Just to give a starting value, just from sitting in your seat and any more research that you can do.
Okay.
And you know, with those starting values, you know, kind of the, some backup to why. And if there's no change, no change. And if we need to remove things like inspection of the $2.50 per linear foot of road frontage.
No, actually, that,
You know, like, again, are we keeping it or not? So again.
No,
yes and
right.
we
no.
should start collecting
Right,
it, because we
exactly.
do it.
Well, yeah.
I mean, the only other thing you could do with that as opposed, if the workload was such that it was too much, was to require the applicant to submit it from a professional engineer, that they had someone
Right,
go
yeah.
out and do the inspections themselves and certify that it was done according to the plans. That's the only other choice you have.
Which exactly why I'd like to, get your feedback on.
How many final inspections
yes or no's
do
on
I
this.
do under one final inspection fee?
Right?
Right, which becomes, when someone else is certifying it and they're running up a bill, they're gonna, more apt to do it right the
I
first
just-
time than have some guy come out twice. But
I mean, I don't know how many times I've been out to Field Pond Road.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know how, I can't count.
I think it's per visit.
Okay.
So by my count, we've continued 4 items to our next meeting.
I think we're pretty full for next meeting, aren't we?
We continued Old Cedar Court, 2 site plans, and our preliminary plan we voted on.
I've got items 4, 5, and 6 as continued.
4 we voted on, we voted to.
no,
not
4 is
approve.
out.
Okay,
That won't
my
be back.
mistake.
So 3, 5, and 6. And 3 is not technically continuous, just carryover.
And 9.
9 we voted on.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
9's
excuse me,
the church.
yes, pardon
It's
me, yep, yep.
10 we're going to carry over.
Yeah, I just wrote it in the wrong place.
It's up to you if you think we've got room for it.
We do.
Okay. My first impression of looking at this, I think our fees are way too low.
Yeah.
Right? They haven't been updated in 12 years.
Right.
12 years.
Would agree.
Okay, so,
Yeah, they should be looked at every couple years at least.
all right.
5 years.
So we'll move that to January 6th? Okay, great. We have a town engineer update?
I don't have anything in particular. If anybody has any questions about anything, I'm happy to,
Did we skip town planner?
he does those after.
Before we go to that update, actually, when we're doing this, I'm wondering if the wording in some of these other towns where there's no town engineer is, it's this fee to them plus any review by whoever they have as an engineer goes as a bill to them, because I'm looking at it saying, there isn't a sub-consultant in the world that's going to do a site plan review for $500.
Yeah.
That's just the application fee to the town.
That's just the application
Yes.
fee. So what we need to understand is that this is an application fee that we're comparing. Ours is the actual review by the engineer as well. So for us to charge well above what this number is not unreasonable.
Right, I agree.
So prior to the stormwater permit fee, we definitely should have been well above what they were. But now that the stormwater fee is, in theory, covering, well, actually, not on a,
But
not
still, you still
not
could,
less than an acre.
yeah, and outside of, there is things that you would need to review outside of what's in the stormwater.
No,
There
I
would still be more than $500.
completely agree.
So, I mean, I think
I just think
the
you
intent
could
is
take-
to shift more of it onto the applicant than it should be for the townspeople, the town of Milford, to be paying for applicants to have the thing reviewed. I mean, obviously, we need to make sure, is the town, that it's being done right, but that still should be a burden on the applicant. So, I think that needs to be weighed in when we come up with an application. That's always been the thing, even when we upped it the last time, it was, okay, let's move towards that. Because they were even lower, and I was like, well, yeah, and we're doing the reviews, not somebody else.
Right. And the peer reviews, they vary depending on the scope of the project, obviously. It's a much larger cost for a much.
In the peer reviews for those specific items, we've always had, the applicant has to do that. But when we come to the straight engineering type review, we've never done that, and that's the fee we get for a project, no matter what the size, and that never has been a number that carries anywhere close to the amount of time that's spent by staff.
Excellent point.
I would definitely want to see a difference between the amended and a full site plan, though.
For sure.
We can just break them off.
Yeah, just because the
Detail
amended generally requires much less of my time.
Yeah.
That's all I'm talking about. But a full site plan, yeah. I mean, really, it almost doesn't matter the size of the project. It's,
Drainage concept and access and,
yeah, it's a,
Yeah, there's a base fee that no matter what size you're gonna spend, and then as it gets a little bit bigger, there's certain
Right.
things that are gonna take a little more time, but it's not proportional to square footage.
exactly.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we go into the town planner update?
Or if I had anything. Oh, I do. So, with this Zoom meeting, apparently our board, I don't know if this actually happened because our IT guy told us it did.
It did.
Our board voted to discontinue the use of hybrid or Zoom, just straight Zoom meetings. We didn't say anything about hybrid meetings. So I think in order to keep these going forward, we should take a vote to do these as needed in instances where the chairman can't attend or someone's unable to be here.
The IT department was concerned about the legality of the Zoom meeting. That's why it got brought up.
The IT
interesting.
department was?
Yes.
Interesting.
I didn't know they followed Mass General laws.
Yeah, I didn't, yeah, okay.
So it's just belts and suspenders approach, just looking for a motion to permit the planning board to use hybrid meetings as needed in the absence of a member.
So
Motion.
moved. Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Here's a call for a
So
vote.
that's, we're talking about, let's talk about it a little bit more. So if we're on vacation or something, we can Zoom in?
Yeah.
Yes, as long as you let Matt and I know
Okay.
prior to, we need to know
At least a week.
at least a week beforehand,
Okay.
so that it can be properly advertised.
Okay.
But the IT has set me up so that the meetings are recorded, which is, I guess, one of the requirements. And it's set up as a webinar instead of a meeting thing, so it's more secure. So it shouldn't be a problem moving forward. The only thing is, like, I didn't anticipate there would be any attendees, so I wasn't too concerned about tonight. But if there were, 6 or 7 other people from the public, and I needed to be, the board would be it would be in their best, it would be in everybody's best interest to have somebody sitting at the computer to let people talk and shut people off.
Well, this would, again, this would be on an as-needed basis. This isn't all meetings going forward. This is an as-needed. If the expectation is a large public participation, then I would say we need to be here and know there's no Zoom meeting at that point in time, only because it's very difficult to understand what people are saying or not, and I would rather have them here. So I think we're only allowing ourselves, in those situations where we truly need to say, yeah, we can use this and have a vote on it to say that, but I don't think we want to go to
No.
Zoom meetings for every
No.
meeting. That's not what we're approving.
Okay. So you had a motion and a second, just need a vote.
All right.
Aye.
Yes, aye.
Abe?
Aye.
Yep. I also
Aye.
vote aye in the affirmative.
Chairman updates. What do we got?
Town engineer.
I think she went, kind of.
Babe, do you have anything? Any updates?
I want to thank you for putting up with this Zoom meeting, and believe me, it's not a pleasure listening to it because it's tough. I hope to be there in January. Thank you very much.
We hope
Thank
you're
you.
here, too.
We hope to see you here. Thank you. All right.
January meetings are on regular schedule. Any reason why not?
6
and 20? Y'all can wish me a happy birthday on the
Check for
20th, even though it's the next
holidays.
day.
January 6th.
19th is MLK Day, the day prior, so we're good.
We're good?
Yeah,
70.
6th and 20th.
January 6th and 19th?
Hopefully I stay that way.
6th and 20th.
20,
You
okay.
look the same as when we worked together, except your hair's a different color.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anybody want to,
Make a motion
any
to,
comments? Good?
Would you like a motion to adjourn?
Please.
Are you ready for that? I make a
we got-
motion, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All right. Discussion on that. Let's have a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Abe?
Aye. Aye.
Also vote in the affirmative. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
See
everyone.
you on
Good
the
meeting.
next meeting.
We haven't continued so many things, but they weren't ready. They just weren't ready.